There's certain patterns to break.
And you think choosing bad partners is like a genetic thing?
For years, fans believed Kourtney Kardashian had finally found her happy ending. After a decade of heartbreak, she'd fallen for her longtime friend and neighbor, the ink-covered rock legend Travis Barker. It was the romance that gave everyone hope, a slow-burn friendship that blossomed into passion, a proposal on the beach, a wedding in Italy, and endless declarations of love splashed across social media. But as the saying goes, not all that glitters is gold. Because beneath the glamorous photos and fairy tale captions, something has shifted. And Hollywood insiders are quietly whispering that Kourtney and Travis's once picture-perfect love story may be fading before our eyes. This is the story they didn't want you to see, the truth behind the Instagram filters, the reality beneath the rose petals. Welcome back to Gossip Mail Report, where we uncover the whispers Hollywood tries to hide. Before the paparazzi lights and Instagram PDA, Kourtney and Travis were simply friends next-door neighbors in Calabasas, bonding over family life and mutual respect. Their friendship stretched back years. They'd grab coffee, their kids would play together, and they'd share the mundane realities of co-parenting in the spotlight. There was no pressure, no expectations, just genuine connection. Travis often spoke fondly of Kourtney in interviews, calling her one of the realest people he'd ever known. She admired his dedication as a father to Landon and Alabama, his work ethic, and the way he balanced fame with family values. Slowly, something deeper began to grow. Friends noticed the way Travis looked at her, the way Kourtney would light up when his name came up in conversation. Their connection was undeniable. When they finally went public in early 2021, fans cheered. This was the calm, steady romance Kourtney deserved after years of emotional ups and downs with her ex, Scott Disick. No more toxic cycles. No more uncertainty. This was it, the one. The proposal came soon after thousands of roses arranged on a California beach at sunset, cameras rolling, family watching from a distance. It was romantic, bold, and unapologetically over the top, the ultimate Travis moment. Kourtney cried. Travis dropped to one knee, and the world collectively swooned. Finally, after everything she'd been through, Kourtney had her fairy tale. Or so we thought. The pair quickly became inseparable. From the Met Gala to Blink 182 tours, from red carpets to family dinners at Nobu, they were joined at the hip. Their chemistry was electric, the passionate kisses caught by paparazzi, the constant hand-holding, the matching black leather outfits. Some fans adored it, calling them relationship goals. Others felt it was too much. Every date became content. Every kiss became a photo op. Their love wasn't just lived, it was documented, curated, and broadcast to millions. As one insider told Hush Hush fame, it's like they wanted to prove their love to the world, but somewhere along the way, they stopped living it and started performing it. The Instagram posts became more frequent, more intense. Travis would comment fire emojis under every photo. Kourtney would share intimate moments that made fans uncomfortable. It felt less like love and more like a campaign to convince everyone, including themselves, that this was perfect. For a while, the spectacle worked. They were Hollywood's it couple, merging punk and polished, chaos and calm. Magazines dubbed them the ultimate modern romance. Brands wanted to work with them. Their blended family seemed like a dream. But here's the thing about performing love for an audience. Eventually, you forget what it looked like when the cameras were off. And love under constant spotlight? It burns fast, and sometimes it burns out. Fans started to wonder, were they happy because they were together? Or were they together because the world expected them to be happy? Long before Kourtney and Travis became official, Travis had a friendship, and some say, a fascination with Kim Kardashian. In his own memoir released years ago, Travis casually mentioned finding Kim eye-catching, back when she was still Paris Hilton's assistant, working red carpets and building her name. He denied anything romantic ever happened, insisting it was just a passing observation, nothing more. But those words didn't sit well with fans, or with Kourtney. That old history resurfaced during family arguments subtly referenced on episodes of The Kardashians, and more blatantly through gossip outlets and anonymous sources. During the planning of their lavish Italian wedding in Portofino, tensions reportedly flared. Kim's involvement in the planning became a sore spot. Kourtney felt overshadowed, like even her own wedding was being hijacked by her younger sister's fame. Sources claim Kourtney found it hard to fully move past the idea that her husband once had eyes for her sister, even if it was fleeting, even if it meant nothing. In her mind, it was a ghost that refused to stay buried. And when you're dealing with family dynamics as complicated as the Kardashians, nothing ever truly stays in the past. Friends of Kourtney say she struggled with comparing herself to Kim, the more famous sister, the more glamorous one, the one Travis once noticed first. It created an invisible wedge, one that neither Travis nor Kourtney knew how to remove. Because how do you compete with a ghost? Especially when that ghost is your own family? Travis is chaos in motion, a touring musician, always surrounded by noise, fans, and adrenaline. His world is drum kits, sold-out arenas, late-night recording sessions, and the roar of the crowd. Kourtney, on the other hand, thrives in peace, slow mornings with green smoothies, organic meals prepared with intention, yoga sessions at sunrise, and uninterrupted time with her kids. At first, their differences were magnetic. They completed each other. He brought spontaneity to her structured life. She brought calm to his frenetic world. It was balance. But now, those same differences are starting to divide them. Travis lives fast, Kourtney moves slow, one insider revealed. When he's on the road, she feels lonely and abandoned. When he's home, he's restless, itching to get back to the stage. They're out of sync. And as they tried to blend their families, her 3 kids with Scott, his 2 kids from his previous marriage, plus their new baby routines clashed. Parenting styles collided, boundaries blurred. Kourtney wanted structure, bedtimes at 8 p.m., screen time limits, organic everything. Travis was more laid back, letting the kids stay up late, ordering takeout, embracing the chaos. Even simple issues like privacy became battlegrounds. Travis wanted to share their life online. Kourtney craved boundaries, wanting to protect their baby from the spotlight she'd been raised in. Friends say the arguments became more frequent. Not screaming matches, but the slow, exhausting kind, the ones about whose way is right, whose needs matter more, whose world the other should adapt to. They were still in love, but love alone wasn't enough to keep the chaos under control. And that's when the cracks really started to show. For months, fans noticed something strange. The couple who once flooded Instagram with loved-up posts suddenly went quiet. No new photos of them together, no date nights documented, no Travis energy lighting up timelines. Then came the red carpet appearances where they seemed off. At a recent awards show, they posed together, but the spark was missing. Less chemistry, fewer genuine smiles, and more awkward distance between them. Body language experts analyzed the footage, pointing out how Kourtney leaned away, how Travis's hand barely touched her waist. One fan comment summed it up perfectly. They used to look obsessed with each other. Now, they just look tired. It's not unusual for relationships to cool down after the honeymoon phase, but for Kourtney and Travis, who built their entire public brand on fiery, all-consuming passion, the change was impossible to ignore. Behind the scenes, sources say they began arguing more about time, priorities, and even privacy. Kourtney reportedly wanted space to focus on motherhood and her wellness brand. Travis wanted connection, quality time, the intensity they once had. Both were right in their own way, and both were frustrated that the other couldn't see it. Friends tried to intervene, suggesting couples therapy, weekend getaways, anything to reignite what they'd lost. But when you're that exhausted, when you've already given everything you have, sometimes even trying feels impossible. The distance grew, not in miles, but in presence. They were living in the same house, sleeping in the same bed, but existing in completely different worlds. Their baby's arrival in late 2023 brought a brief wave of happiness. Kourtney posted heartfelt notes about gratitude, about miracles, and divine timing, about how blessed she felt to experience motherhood again at this stage of her life. For a moment, it seemed like the baby might be the glue that held them together. But even parenthood couldn't fix what fame had fractured. As Travis returned to touring with Blink-182 just months after the birth, Kourtney stayed home, focused on recovery, breastfeeding, and caring for their newborn around the clock. The division of labor became lopsided. Kourtney felt like a single parent while Travis was living his rock star life. Travis felt guilty but also resentful. This was his career, his passion, the thing he'd been doing long before they got together. Fans noticed she stopped attending his concerts, the same shows she used to watch from backstage, dancing and cheering him on. And he stopped posting about her, his feed suddenly filled with band photos and tour highlights instead of family moments. By mid-2025, the silence was deafening. The couple who once couldn't stop talking about their love now seemed to be communicating only through carefully crafted social media filters, or not at all. Friends say they're cordial, even affectionate at times, but the passion has dimmed. The fire that once defined them is now just embers, barely glowing. Insiders tell Hush Hush Fame that behind closed doors, the tension is real and palpable. Travis reportedly feels suffocated by Kourtney's need for control, for peace, for everything to be perfectly curated. He misses spontaneity, the thrill of unpredictability. Kourtney, meanwhile, feels ignored by his constant touring schedule, his inability to slow down, his refusal to prioritize family over fame. She's been down this road before with Scott always waiting, always second to something else. One source put it bluntly: they love each other deeply, but they're exhausted by each other. It's not hatred, it's not betrayal, it's just fatigue. And that's perhaps the most heartbreaking truth, because sometimes love doesn't end with a dramatic fight or a shocking betrayal. It just fades slowly, quietly, like a photograph left in the sun, until all that's left are faded memories of what used to be vivid and bright. Their friends are split. Some think they just need time apart to remember why they fell in love. Others believe the foundation was never as strong as it appeared, that it was built on chemistry and timing, not true compatibility. Family members have tried to stay neutral, but even they see the shift. The holidays feel tense. Family dinners are quieter. The kids sense something's wrong, even if no one's saying it out loud. Despite the rumors, both are still wearing their rings. Some close to the couple believe they're simply taking space, a quiet pause to breathe, to reset, to figure out if they can rebuild what they've lost. Others aren't so sure, whispering that separation might already be happening behind closed doors. They've unfollowed fan accounts dedicated to Travis. They've stopped sharing couple photos. They've avoided joint interviews, each appearing solo at events when they used to arrive together. It feels like the end of an era, or perhaps the start of something new, a quieter, more grounded chapter, away from the spotlight they once embraced so fully. Maybe they'll find their way back to each other. Maybe they'll realize that the love is still there, just buried under expectations and exhaustion. Or maybe they'll walk away, grateful for what they had but honest about what they need moving forward. Either way, their story has already changed. The fairy tale has become real life, messy, complicated, imperfect. And perhaps that's the most honest version of love there is. Love stories don't always end the way we expect. Sometimes they just change. Whether Kourtney and Travis find their way back or go their separate ways, one thing's certain: their journey has reminded us that even in Hollywood, love isn't a performance. It's a choice. A daily decision to show up, even when it's hard. And here at Gossip Mail Report, we'll always be watching the truth unfold, one whisper at a time. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because behind every headline, there's a heartbeat waiting to be heard. Until next time, stay curious.